Everybody, welcome to the Malam Go podcast here on Betway's platform with me, Philip Sichope-Achim, today sitting here for Fent. Michael Otieje joins us today for the pod, and there is Victor Achu Tamaklo. Coach Daniel Cranton have been sacked from the podcast for disciplinary issues. That's on a lighter note. Guys, there is a big assignment for Otto Addo and the Black Stars. It's huge. I mean, I tell you what, I think it was on the pod.
Yeah.
When we were discussing the women's AFCON, and the baby girls were doing well, they were going in there, Chantal and Co were showing Ketchup.
And speaking bravo.
Charlie, the girls were doing well. So we're here recording, Fence was sitting there. I think coach was talking about the girls, Daniki. All of a sudden, I was so quiet. I was like, do you guys really realize that by December there is AFCON? And like, yeah, we are going back to Morocco. I'm like, do you guys also know that Ghana won't, has it really sunk? Like, do you know that Ghana won't be at the AFCON? And they're like, I'm like, damn, Ghana won't be at the AFCON. Like, we won't be there. But of course, we've spoken about how disappointed we are not to have Ghana in the AFCON. But now we have an opportunity of going to, a bigger one. For me, let me tell you my truth. For me, the AFCON has always been bigger for me because it's an achievable target for me than going to the World Cup to win. So I've always loved when we've gone to the AFCON. Anytime I feel like this is where we can even use luck to win. At the World Cup, even if they give me luck, we don't go win. At least now. Like, that's my belief. I might be, maybe I'm not that patriotic or something. But in my mind, the AFCON is the one that is it's a big deal.
That's where the juice is.
It's a big deal for me. AFCON, that is the World Cup is all nice. We'll go there, can play some 3 games, maybe 4, 5. If you are lucky, 3 games, 4, 5 games, we are back. As for the AFCON, Ghana is capable of going all the way. So it has always been my big deal. So no problem. Ghana didn't make the AFCON, that on the side. But we have an opportunity of playing on the global stage, the World Cup. And ahead of us is 2, very, very, very dicey games. Away to Chad and then at home to Mali. But Otto Addo names the squad for that. You've seen the squad, Michael?
Yeah.
I'm sure by now everybody has seen it. Let me just run you guys through just so you know what we are talking about. So for the 3 goalkeepers that Otto Addo picked, Lawrence Atsizigi, Joseph Annan, and then Benjamin Asare. The defenders, Gideon Mensah, Derek Atakon, Mohamed Salisu, Jerome Opoku, Alexander Jiku, Jonas Ajete, Tariq Lamte, Caleb Yurenchi. Bedforders, Elisha Owusu, Mohamed Kudus, Ibrahim Osman, Ibrahim Sulemana, Thomas Partey, Abdul Saleh Samed, and forward, Antoine Semenyo, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Joseph Pentel, Jerry Efriye, Jordan Ayew, Christopher Bambonsu, Iñaki Williams. So these are the gentlemen who will be, playing for the Black Stars in those 2 qualifiers to the World Cup. Chad first away, and then we come home and then face Mali in Accra. Michael, you've seen the squad. The assignment is there. Big ask. This window could as well confirm.
Yeah, I think Otto wanted a balance. He clearly wanted players that he knows already. I've already been told that he didn't want to introduce too many new players because it sort of disrupts the flow and makes the things that he wants to do a bit different. And you can tell because the only addition...
Is that a sound reason for you?
In many ways it is. Like I've mentioned, maybe Sibo was a good outside bet to get in, but I don't think there's been enough then to... Ibrahim Sulemana had a good end to the season.
Yeah.
The season in Italy has just started, so you cannot use a lack of playing time as any factor against him. Thomas Partey being called up is important. He's played games and all that. He knows the team. He's got immense experience. Brilliant in the last round of qualifiers, so that was important. Abdul Saleh Samed, I thought maybe that was the one that could slip away, but he started playing, and he's a player that Otto has always liked.
Even when he had no play for Sunderland, he was in London for, UK.
To sort of basically cover up because a lot of players didn't show up. But the fact that he showed up, but he's also a player from all my understanding that Otto really likes. He's always been present in Otto teams. So to go to Nice and start playing, it almost becomes a given. So there was very little room in there. I don't understand call-ups like Jerry Free and the rest, I have to be honest. I really don't enjoy when players are young and then they become almost like constant call-ups into the Black Stars, whatever the case is, whether they are playing or not. And I've not seen anything in his club form to be
So suggest
convinced
that
that
he
has to be in there.
I was surprised Benjamin Tete wasn't called, considering he started the season well. He scored like 5 goals in 6 games.
Yeah.
And it's also that one player that we don't really have his
a
type.
bit of height.
Yeah, it's just that old-fashioned strike. Big lad. You can throw him on.
So you could have a few one of those, but I think it's really good balance between experienced players who have been there regularly, Afriye, Bonsuban, Kelebianchi. They bring the strong young players factor into that team.
They really did push themselves for this spot in those friendly games.
Caleb especially. You know, shy boy, but he does his stuff a bit.
Right.
Yeah. But shy but very confident.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking that is you were there, so you'd have seen them. No. But on the pitch, he doesn't look it.
No, he looks a bit shy, but he's confident.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember we were going to do an interview and one official said, "Are you sure you're ready to do this?" He said, "I can handle it." But he's soft-spoken, very calm guy. But he's got a massive future.
Yeah, I love it.
He's got a spring in his step. There are aspects of his game that needs to become better. How to have the pace and the end product in the same measure. But he is good. I like the call-up of Derek Cohn. I've not seen him play before, I have to be honest. But when I look at his background, the places that he's played, mid-career, the uncertainty with the left back row, that for me, Mohamed Salisu has struggled for games a lot towards the back end of last season, at the start of this season. But he's a left-footed centre-back.
It's a rare
and his
breed.
kind is rare. So you can understand. So very little complaints. As we saw in the Nations Cup qualifiers with the Black Stars, sometimes you don't know what to expect.
Man.
Everything is on the pitch. So hopefully it starts well in Chad, but not bad at all.
How could we have been playing the World Cup qualifiers and the AFCON qualifiers in the same
side
year?
by side,
and doing one almost brilliantly and being total not in quotes, really rubbish in the, because we didn't even win a game in at home. Like, it was
We were complete rubbish.
complete rubbish, man. Charlie, you come Morocco. Do you know what that means? Look, I mean, what do you make of the team? Actually, I mean, are you confident about? I mean, it's Mali, it's Chad. Are you confident about the team? Is there a player you thought we should have seen in this call that is not here?
yes, Thomas Braden Asante.
Oh,
He's,
okay,
after that game against Nigeria,
right.
he's kicked on. He's had the best start of any Ghanaian forward out there.
True. True.
In what, 5
And
appearances?
actually, when you look at some of the call-ups in the striking area,
yeah.
And you mentioned Jerry Free.
Yeah.
He's still young. He'll get this opportunity.
Yeah,
But he's ready, especially
He will, but
when
Thomas Asante should
he's
be
ready.
ahead of him.
He's ready.
He should be ahead of him in the pecking order.
That's a good shot.
He has 4 goal contributions in 5 games already this season. Already knows the team well.
That
Has
guy's
scored.
powerful.
So I was a bit surprised that he was not in the team, because someone like him lessens the burden on players like Jordan Ayew and the likes. And you also need players who are walking into the team with a bit of momentum, because the team will be in Accra on Sunday. Realistically, you expect a full complement like Tuesday, which means they will probably train together twice before they take to the field for that game
you'll
against
train
Czech.
together twice. One is open to you, one is not open to you.
Yes. So, look, there's no time, right? You need players who already are walking into the camp with confidence, have good match rhythm, and are feeling good about themselves, right? So that it rubs off their teammates that are in camp with. So I was expecting to see him there. But I like the fact that Otto Addo has also been ruthless in the midfield, because if you look at the players that he has called up, maybe the defenders needed to reduce, but you can't ask questions about the midfield players who are there, except for Salih Summit, right? Because if you're going purely by what everyone has done and their contribution to the team in
Maybe Tariq
the
as
recent
Tariq
history,
hasn't played a lot of games too.
exactly. After what Francis Abu and Lawrence Ajukum have showed in the past 6
Where's
months.
Francis? Is he injured or something?
No, I think he's fit now. He's not injured. He's fit now. And Lawrence Ajukum, at least they should have been part of the team, even if they are not going to be nailed on starters. Because there are 2 games. You want to shuffle the pack around. They will get some game time, maybe some 15 minutes at the tail end of each game, right? So I was a bit surprised that neither of them got into the team. But the decision to leave out our two boys who are returning from ACL makes a lot of sense. Seydou Alidu and then Abdul Fattah Issahaku.
Yeah, that was that
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You don't need to disrupt the momentum that they have got. Allow them to just keep on the trajectory that they have.
Especially when they've got capable players in their position.
Exactly, in that area.
Yeah.
Maybe in October when they are still doing well, then you call them back into the team. The only issue I've had with previous national team coaches is that when they make the sensible decision around this time, in October, when it looks like those players have lost a bit of steam and are not playing enough, we still call them based on the feeling that, around this time we should have called them, but we made the decision not to. So I just hope when that time comes, he doesn't do that. I think we're seeing some returnees into the team. Tariq Lamptey, first time back in 10 months.
After his injury, yeah.
Yes, Osman Ibrahim, also first time back in 11
I actually
months.
like that call-up, though. 2 assists this season already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was disrupted a bit at Feyenoord. It's a player I like very much, so I'm keen to see how he does.
Yeah. And I think he showed us a good side of himself in the youth teams. Just didn't get the same trajectory into the Black Meteors and the other teams, but water under the bridge. He's here now. Joseph Pentel also walks into the team, also feeding into Michael's narrative about familiarity. Hopefully, it serves the team. But like against Chad, I think if you look through the squad, this is not a squad that you should look back on and say that the selection is the reason why we didn't perform against Chad or against Mali.
It's good enough.
It's good enough
to get a job done.
It's good enough to get it. Look, if you have any issues like I have, it'll probably be over 4 or 5 players. And I think that is normal for a call-up of between 21 to 25 players. There is still enough to work with between a core of 14 to 15 players, right?
That can get a job done.
That can get a job done.
Well, anyway, but this is crucial because it's important we do win against Chad, Michael, because while we play against Chad, I mean, we'll play earlier. We'll play our game is around 2 p.m. Ghana time, I think. 1 p.m. Ghana time.
Yeah.
When we play Chad. That evening, Mali will play against Comoros in Mali. Now, the reason that is significant is Comoros is 3 points behind Ghana. Ghana has 15 points. Comoros has got 12. Comoros is 3 points behind Ghana, and Mali have got 9 points. If Mali want to qualify to the World Cup, they desperately need to beat Comoros at home.
Yeah.
Now, beating Comoros at home does us a favor because then it takes Mali to 12 points, tied on points with Comoros. Then if we win against Chad away from home, that takes us to 18 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
So,
if you beat Mali,
Mali here in Ghana, then
you have almost a 6-point lead going into it.
Absolutely. So it is crucial that we do win that game away at Chad.
I mean, I think in these qualifiers, the least that we should take out of these qualifiers should be 4 out of 6 points. But the Chad one has to be one of those where it's an absolute 6-pointer for us. A lot of teams will beat Chad. You don't want to be the one who doesn't.
I mean, they have no points.
Yes.
They are the boogie side.
So consider 14 goals in 6 games so far.
It's not. You have to do it. You also have to do it for momentum. Because if there's anything I learned from the Nations Cup qualifiers, the first bad result that we had, we said, we'll fix it.
Spills over.
Then everyone bad results spilled into the other.
The opponents are getting confidence against you.
Yes, and the players lost momentum. They lost confidence. The crowd got agitated. Coach began to get confused. Decisions were all over the place. This one is captain today. That one is captain tomorrow. So you really don't want that sort of thing to happen. That could be a problem.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, if we beat Chad and we get a statement win. I mean, we saw them here when in Ghana. They're not a great side, to be honest. When you look at the talent on show for Black Stars, should be getting a very good. And Michael mentioned said momentum is key, because if we don't beat Chad, and I don't think we can lose. I don't see how we can lose against Chad. I don't see it. But if we don't, and Mali wins against Comoros, and Mali gets onto 12 points, Mali is coming to Ghana knowing that if they come to Ghana to win, they're on 15 points alongside Ghana. And Comoros will also know.
And if there is a team capable of beating us at home in Accra,
it could be them.
it is Mali.
Yeah.
They are players, and after they sacked that guy,
The water
Eric
guy.
Shelley.
The
Who is giving it to
Nigeria now.
You know,
See, some coaches are tournament coach. After tournament, don't do anything with them.
and look, and Tom Santif is like a really, really good old head.
Yeah.
Smart,
He'll change things.
knows how to do the Gambia qualification. Even the way Mali have become a better team since he took over.
True.
They will be a tough nut to crack.
Is there? Look, on this continent, it's almost as if one of the things that is necessary to succeed is to be no nonsense as a manager, to be a disciplinarian. I mean, he walks into the team and nobody's hearing about Yves Bissouma's tantrums or any of those issues again. He sets the standard. You won't play.
Looks like a clown.
Yeah. He sets the standard.
He's got enough for his new manager.
With Thomas Frank as well. But in Mali, he's dealt with that problem. You won't play. Someone else will. If you act up, you won't be part of the team, and it served the team well. But look, I have this faith in the team that whatever happens, we won't lose to Mali. We won't lose to Mali. I like that our attitude in that game away in Bamako. And I think those are things that stay with you as a player. Those are things that are necessary in every team's character development and the growth. Those are milestones that help you in maturing. Unfortunately, it looked like we did not do anything with that in the AFCON qualifiers that followed. But I would like to give the team a bit of grace in what has happened since the turn of the year and how we have approached the World Cup qualifiers. We have treated the games as we ought to. No complacency, but very ruthless in the way we have managed games. And I think the most important thing is set the tone with that game against Mali, with that game against Chad. We don't need an 8-0 or 5-0. Just an efficient performance that says that we're in control of this.
All right. So now, Ghana qualifying through this group for sure. Isn't it?
Oh, I'm very, very confident.
They're going to the USA.
Start looking for your visa.
Yeah.
Quick.
But the timing of this also is perfect for our boys because Kudus has had a great start at Spurs. Semenyo has also started very well. Babons, who has started well.
Right.
Jordan is also doing well. So
Bamboo's after he chopped the red card.
No, but I reckon some way. But anyway, I want us to also on the same World Cup qualifiers, spend some time and talk about Ghana's own Kwesi Appiah. I mean, he's in a very good position, but a difficult one because in his group is DR Congo first place with 13 points.
Yeah.
One time, more recent African champion Senegal with 12 points. And then he comes in with 12 points as well in third place. But his next game is against Senegal. And then he plays against Senegal. I think he's playing away from home against Senegal. And so that is a crucial game. Now, the thing for him is most of the players that played in his Chan team are going to be, a lot of them are going to play in his Sudan World Cup qualifying team. People have said that is an advantage because he has more time with the team. But again, going all the way to the semis of the Chan team, a few weeks break, and then he comes to play in the World Cup qualifiers. Is there any fear of burnout, fatigue?
No, I'm not sure. You know, so for a team like Sudan, the home-based players, club football disrupted and all that, a few of them spread across a few African teams. At international level, that sort of cohesion is important. Yeah. I think that's why Sudan have been as good as they are. But I have a fear that, Senegal may be a bridge too far for Kwesi Appiah. In Dakar. You know, they drew the one in
Khartoum.
In Benghazi. Was it Benghazi or no, in Libya.
Libya.
I'm not sure whether it was Benghazi exactly. But Dakar is a tough place to go. And Senegal, a good team. Not as fearful as they used to be, but they've become better in the intervening years, in the intervening months since Aliou Cisse left.
Yeah.
So it will be tough. But for Kwesi Appiah, I think that by qualifying Sudan to the Nations Cup, by taking them to the semi-finals of Chan, just the fact that we are talking of him in with a chance of qualifying for the World Cup,
incredible.
It's an incredible tribute to the quality that he's shown throughout.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a bit shocking that people still don't think he doesn't know what he's doing. It reminds me of an argument I had long ago when one journalist kept saying, Kwesi Appiah doesn't know what he's doing. I said, well, you are always reading the football of your phone. You are saying somebody
who has played football, standing on the dunk in the dugout
and managed at this level and all that. I mean, so I'm happy for what he's done, but I fear that Senegal and the World Cup may prove a step too far.
And he's got, again, we also know that second place comes in handy in this qualifier because so his team might also, if they don't make the top spot, will be targeting that slot as well. But even though DR Congo have got 13 points, they've got 12.
The trick for him is that they have made Sudan very difficult to beat. Across this team, the Chan team as well. So when we played them, I think the game against Ghana here that ended in a draw was perhaps the anomaly. It was the one game where they considered a lot of chances where Otto Addo said they were lucky, and then we know what happened.
He said they were lucky, and when we go there, they won't be lucky.
We know what happened when we actually went there.
We talked some things before. We talked some things though.
If he says a coach should never say.
We are Ghana.
Charlie. But when we went away, we saw the true Sudan team as we've come to see. Since he took the job,
teams a lot.
Yeah. They are brilliant on the counter. Their counter-attacking football is really one of the best on the continent.
Yes, the defensive side is good, but he seemed to have created a team that is very clear in their mind how they can get goals. And that is very important. So since he took over, I think in October last year or so, of the 10 games that they have played, they've only lost twice. They've won 5 and they've drawn 3 times. Those numbers are crazy when you're talking about Sudan. Because those are numbers that you should, maybe in the group, DR Congo, yes, for the quality that they have. Now Aaron Wan-Bissaka is joining the ranks and all of that. So for countries like that, Senegal, when they are not having a good time, but they are still able to win majority of their games, those are the numbers that you expect of the big boys. But this is Sudan. And this is in a period where it's not like they have had 10, 15 years of uninterrupted football development. We have seen the country go through war. We've seen the country being torn into 2. And yet they walk in there and Kwesi Appiah is able to decouple the football team from what the country itself is going through. And it's brilliant. But even if he's not able to qualify for the World Cup, I went to the team's hotel and I saw the way they behave around him. And after that, I told Ignatius that you guys are onto something special.
Yeah, they really respect them.
At that hotel, the camaraderie that I saw, the way even people who were not coaching staff, so they had members of the Sudanese embassy, and the unity that I saw there and the way they relate to each other for me it was really beautiful. And there was a sense of pride that I felt that a Ghanaian was being treated in this manner. Yeah. And it's simply because Kwesi Appiah aces it every time. And this is not his first dance with Sudan. He took a job at a club side, took them into 3rd place, very competitive, did well in the CAF Champions League. They never really won it. But it was on the back of that the Sudanese people
realized
really
that there's something good there.
There's something
I'll tell you a story. When they qualified to the AFCON, I'm driving home, I'm tuned to BBC World Service, I'm listening. There's a report that the BBC does on Sudan qualifying to the AFCON. And in the reports, the journalist who's doing this report is saying that when they started the qualifiers, the campaign, the people in Sudan didn't really care because they had so much to deal with. You know everything that is happening. Yeah. But as the qualifiers went on, and it became apparent that they had a chance of qualifying to the AFCON, the whole country started following it. And again, as we know it, football unites people. Football stops every other thing and gets people to concentrate on what is happening. So the whole country now, whenever the Sudanese team was going to play, once they knew they had an opportunity of qualifying to the AFCON, the whole country was in a standstill. The problem that they faced every day didn't exist in their minds anymore. And so what the qualification to the AFCON has done to that country is something you can't even quantify.
You can't quantify.
And that is why it's revered now by the politicians there, by the women who didn't watch football, but all of a sudden realize that because of football, they're not going through the same torments that they would have been going through if nothing was happening. So they are real heroes. And since they got a job, they've not really been at Sudan. Because he has gone there once. Yeah. Only once. He's not been at Sudan. He's not met the Sudanese. All the Sudanese guys he's met are people he's met outside Sudan when he's going to play. Various embassies, various stadia when they are scattered around.
In Libya, Saudi Arabia.
Yes. Mostly in Saudi Arabia and Libya. That is where. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful, part that they are playing in keeping people in Libya happy. I'm happy for them.
last week Thursday, someone said this is pushing and perhaps going to be bigger than what Atoko Efio did with Benin. The late Atoko Efio, when he qualified Benin for their very first AFCON in 2004.
Actually, it is.
Yeah. Because Kwesi has not only done that, he's not only taken Sudan to the AFCON, they are now in with a realistic chance of making it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
However this ends, the circumstances and everything that we have explained here, look, this is a big deal.
He's a hero.
The fact that
He can be proud of himself.
They are
Massive legacy on the
training.
continent.
They are training in Saudi Arabia for 4 or 5 days, and then they have to fly to come and play their home games in Libya.
Yeah. And look, it's not one. You see, a coach can come and it's one of qualifies the team to the AFCON. After which
Nothing happens.
he's qualified them to the AFCON. They're in a shout of qualifying to the World Cup. Then he's gone to Chan.
Yeah.
And he's gone to the semi. So he's really doing. It's onto something. He's not just gone there and done something by luck, just luck. AFCON qualified, just qualified. Chan was a mess.
No.
World Cup qualified, yeah, last batch one. No. Competitive in World Cup qualifiers, competitive in Chan, already at the AFCON. And now people going to the AFCON thinking about Sudan. If you get Sudan in your group, you know you've got a massive test coming up for you.
And they're doing all of this, playing all their games away.
away.
Not
Incredible.
a single home game.
Incredible. Anyway, guys, so that'll be it for the Black Stars. Let us know what you think on the squad. What the squad Otto Addo has called up. I mean, we've said there were a couple of players we thought should have had a look in or should have been there. But what do you think? Is this squad good enough to be the 2 teams that we come up against first Chad, and then we finish the campaign against Mali here in Accra? Is somebody going to for the Chad game from your end?
I don't even know where their plane will go through.
Because you two people work for media outlets that, and massive credits to you guys, man. You two work for media houses that have shown massive commitment to national teams. It's not Black Stars. It's not under 20s.
It's a content strategy.
Yeah.
The others have to catch up. Again, I see you're covering the women's
Women's Champions League qualifiers.
Qualifiers Waffles, no?
Yeah.
You're covering your artist is covering
Yeah,
as
Lawrence
well.
is there.
Again, the same TV that went to the women's app. I mean, I was talking to Michael was trying to be diplomatic on X. I'm saying they are doing well. The other student is like, oh, covering tournaments is expensive. Heck, if it's on a 17, this and a 17 boys, the boys will find money and go and cover. But black queens, you're not going to tell them it's expensive.
Jelly.
You cover what you want to cover.
But you've not noticed that the number of Ghanaian journalists traveling to cover tournaments has reduced.
Well, yeah, I think it does.
massively.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like I remember in 2005 when Ghana went to Congo.
Why is that? Is it again the cost or something?
It's cost, but I also think at some point it's become it became the what journalists felt was their unwelcome approach, and a lot of that happened around 2012, 2013 in the Kwesi Appiah era. There was a sense that the team was not very welcoming, so you have to be really Takashi.
Yeah.
I mean, I show up and find a hotel and do what I have to do, and we try to do the same thing. But these days, a lot of it is about cost too. It takes a lot of money to put somebody in Morocco for a month.
Yeah. So let me ask you, as a manager then, when the team is progressing, you're happy obviously, but you also, how do you balance that? Because you're like, damn, I have to send another batch of per diems.
Oh, you find a way around it. But I mean, obviously by your planning, you know that you're preparing for 1 month.
But if the team exits quick, you're like,
You
okay.
can always gauge whether this team will go far or not.
Yeah.
So if they go beyond a certain point, then you make your arrangements as you can make. But look, when a team is doing well, it's great for content, it's great for social media, engagement, it's great for growth. If you are smart, it's great for commercial opportunities. So it's a win-win situation, to be honest with you. I mean, when you send anybody to a tournament and the team doesn't do well, even you begin to get annoyed.
Yeah. If the person comes back and you vex, it's like you take the ball.
Like when I went to London after the Ghana loss against Nigeria.
Yeah, then you vex.
Born in a film. Some fossa.
Man, so a big shout out to, I mean, the activity coming, Akosia is there?
Yeah.
No, it's Adepa who went. Adepa with Unia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Adepa went this time. All right. So big shouts to Adepa, big shouts to Lawrence
Bedu.
and we know Abigail Sanas also is there as well.
there.
Those three doing massive job bringing us all there. The only time I really get to know about what's happening there is when I have to deliberately go and look for their pages or look for their platforms and go. Otherwise, you don't get the stuff. So media snack and Musia. Very soon, better way, Malam Go podcast. We'll be sending people to go and cover things as well. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you as always. Subscribe, share with your friends, tell them the Malam Go podcast is here and it's hot. Drop your comments, let us know what you think about the podcast. And we appreciate all the love. I've met a lot of you in town telling us how you feel about this. In fact, you know I'm terrible with names. I've told you this before. Next time when I meet you, remind me to type your name somewhere in my notes. When I come, I'll give you all the shout out. But you guys are amazing people. Thank you. Thank you for always tuning in. Guys, until next week, bye-bye, stay safe, and enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Sharp.